Welcome 2023, and I wish all of you a happy new year filled with new and exciting memories. Hi there, you're listening to What's New Today, a kids and family podcast about current events, and this is Sangeeta, your host of this channel. I'm excited to be back recording the first podcast of 2023 on a very interesting topic. In this episode, we talk about how a group of deep sea divers, scientists, and tiger sharks got together and helped each other out. Are you a little curious to know how tiger sharks helped humans? Let's listen to more of this story from our super curious young co host from this episode.
Hi, I'm Ahalya. I'm 9 years old and I'm from Chennai. I go to the Redwood Montessori School.
Welcome, Ahalya. Would you like to tell us a little bit about some of your favorite hobbies?
I really love drawing, reading, and sometimes when I'm bored, I also like writing poems or stories.
So your stories are usually filled with a lot of adventure.
Yeah, I like magic, so I write magic stories.
All your characters can do magic.
Yes, but some don't.
Oh, there are muggles and wizards.
Yes.
So you're a J.K. Rowling in the making.
Yes.
Today's topic is about how some scientists found out about how there's a huge world of seagrass under the ocean. Now, for a lot of us, we've probably never even heard of seagrass and sea meadows. Have you heard of such things?
I saw a few photos where few divers have gone to check out that place where there is a lot of seagrass.
How does a seagrass look? Does it look like how we see grass growing in meadows?
It's pretty similar, but it's just deep down under the water. But it also is like wavy because the water moves it.
Before we plunge into the topic, can we do a very quick, fun game? I'll give you a word and I want you to tell me 3 words that come to your mind.
Let's get started!
The first word is the color blue.
Sky, the ocean, the atmosphere.
The atmosphere? Wow, very interesting. Second word, predator.
Sharks, crocodiles, orca whales.
The third word is petrol.
Fuel, diesel, vehicle.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Okay, so now these 3 have some relationship with today's topic about seagrass and prairies. Do you know what that is?
I know about the blue color, which is the sea, and the predator is the shark, and I'm not sure about the petrol.
You're not sure about the petrol? Okay, you and I will discover the connection with petrol as the story unfolds. Shall we?
Okay.
So first step is you told me that there is something called a seagrass, which looks very similar to the grass that we see on land, and it's under the oceans.
Yeah.
Do you know why the seagrass is something that scientists seem to be very curious about?
It captures carbon, and that's all I.
You're absolutely right about it capturing carbon. I have another question for you. Have you ever heard a word or a term called global warming?
Yes. Sometimes if you have a room full of AC and if you feel cold and more people come into the room, it becomes more warm.
Okay. You said that the seagrass helps us capture carbon. Everyday life, right, Ahalya? You and I, we do many things that causes a lot of carbon to go out into the atmosphere. Like if we go in cars and bikes and buses and trains and even aeroplanes, when we burn the fuel, it releases a lot of carbon into the atmosphere. Now, because the world is becoming a warmer place, if we can find plants or trees which can capture and take back all that carbon and can cool the earth down. Wouldn't that be a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why the seagrass has become something very important for us. Have you read about whether the seagrass captures more carbon or the trees above the ground capture more carbon?
The seagrass captures way more carbon than the trees on the land.
That's true. If you had to find out how many trees were there on land, what would you do, Ahalya?
I would use a helicopter and I would rather measure the whole place. So I'll try and find out how many trees are there.
Fantastic. Now, suppose I tell you that you had to do something similar to find under the ocean. What would you do?
I would take a boat, go where the seagrass is mainly found.
Or you will have a camera attached to you if you're the one who's doing the diving.
Yeah.
It would take literally forever if divers had to go and scour every square inch of the ocean.
Yeah.
So we found a fun and a tricky way.
So they found that many other animals also lived on the seagrass. First they thought about the turtles, fish and all which lived there. But they later found that tiger sharks, they were there for more time. They dropped a camera on its back. It went and wherever it was going, they could see. So they found how much seagrass was there.
It's a cool idea, no?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of it.
You wouldn't have thought of it. Yeah, maybe not. But if someone told you that, Ahalya, you have to spend the next 8 years diving under the ocean every single day, I'm sure you would have thought, okay, who else can do this job instead of me?
So, some divers will send a camera deep down below the water. So I would have tried and found it by that.
Yeah, this saves us a lot of time and even petrol and fuel, because if you have to send or a battery also, right? Here you're using nature's own resources. Let the tiger shark go wherever it wants and let it send us all those wonderful pictures.
Yes.
So what do you think next scientists want to do now that they found out about where the seagrass is?
They would want to try and grow more so it can capture more of the carbon. I also heard that few scientists, they took a sack, filled it with sand and that seagrass, and then they'll drop it for however long it will take to go down. Once it touches the seabed, it might start to grow.
What else would you like to use a tiger shark or any other underwater creature to take photographs of?
I would want to see the reefs, the different types of caves deep below. Yeah, also I would want to see the different colored fish.
Different colored fish. Yeah, I think from now on we can stop sending divers. Let's just start attaching cameras to tortoises and whales and sharks. Much easier, no, in life?
Yeah. Similarly, like the hammerhead shark, it has like some sensors on that head. It will go like scan the floor, seabed, and if it sees any food, even if the rays are hiding under the sand, it can go and eat it. It's like a scanner for food.
Like how in all the supermarkets they'll find one scanner like that.
Yes.
Okay, that's one of the reasons why the scientists chose tiger sharks, because they spend a lot more of their time, scouting for food within the seagrass, which means they are likely to be covering a large section of the ocean which definitely has seagrass. That makes it easy for the scientists to find out exactly where the seagrass is, and wherever they don't find enough seagrass, they're now going to drop plop big bags of sand with all the seagrass weeds, which can start absorbing all the carbon and cool the planet again.
Yes.
If you could have one superpower by which you can tell all the adults to behave properly, what would you tell us?
I really hope they would stop producing plastic and also stop using it.
For a person with a superpower, you're being mighty polite to all the adults. You don't have to say, I really hope. You can just say, I hereby command you to stop using all plastic. You can say that. Shall we move on to the next interesting part of today's episode?
Yes. It's quiz time, so let's see how well you listened.
Question 1. What do you think captures more carbon? A tall tree that we all have outside our garden, or the grass that grows on the seabed?
The grass that grows on the seabed.
Question 2. Scientists who wanted to measure how much seagrass there is decided to use a certain animal. Which animal did they use to find out how much seagrass is there?
Tiger sharks.
Question 3. If Ahalya had one superpower and could tell all the adults to stop doing one thing, what would she tell everyone?
To stop using plastic and also making more.
So, which is your most favorite episode on this channel?
My second favorite was the one where, volcanoes and sharks. It was really funny. I feel it was also pretty surprising. I never felt that sharks would like the warmth of the volcano underwater, because I also know they like cold waters.
Yeah, that's true. Even I was surprised when we recorded that episode. And I also found out that there are some sharks which do like to be near the hot waters of a volcano. So you said that's your second most favorite. What's your most favorite?
I love the one where the cheetahs were brought back to India. My favorite animal on land is the cheetahs.
Awesome. When do you listen to podcasts, Ahalya?
Sometimes I ask my father if I can use the iPad so I can hear any of the episodes. I do that in the weekends.
You do realize that podcasts don't involve any screen, right?
Yeah.
I once met a child who likes to doodle and draw whatever she hears on the podcast episode.
Oh yeah, I also do that. I once drew a cheetah, but it was very bad.
You drew a cheetah and it was very bad. Okay. Great. Ahalya, I had such a wonderful time chatting with you about this whole tiger sharks being used to capture photographs of all the seagrass. How did you enjoy this recording?
I really liked it.
Thanks, Ahalya. If any of you would like to listen to the episode about cheetahs being brought back, that is episode number 55 on this podcast channel. And that brings us to the end of this episode. If you like listening to this conversation, chances are that you'll find this podcast channel a great way for you to catch up with a lot of interesting stories from the real world around us, with no screens and tons of laughter. New episodes drop every Monday and Friday on this podcast channel. Do click the follow and subscribe button, share the word, and help us grow our listeners.
And thanks for listening.